This might be a weird time to do a video like this with all that's going on in the world today, but hey, let's take a break from the every 4-year psyop to shred the fabric of society and dream of what could be a whole new world. What's up, everybody? Welcome back to the show. I am Steve and I'm back again. Thanks for stopping in. And I cannot believe I just did that right back there, but here we are, and we have one heck of a show in store. I'm telling you, it's not your everyday, well, we're going to hear about flat earth and it's going to be dumb. I found some hard-hitting, impactful stuff hopefully you never seen or heard of. It's going to be deep, and it's going to be the last time I ever talk about flat earth. I don't talk about aliens because I'm at the point where it's show me them or shut up about it. That's about where I'm at with flat earth. Show me the proof or shut up about it. So I did a whole video on it, and it is jam-packed. It's going to be just like the miner meme. No, the other miner meme. That's right, that one right there. You ever eat like a steak and you save like the best piece for last, or like a burger, or maybe you're a vegan and whatever it is, you know how you save the best piece for last? That's how my videos are. I'm telling you, you can't have a home run every second. Sometimes you're bunting your way on. Up around the 20-minute mark, you might have to pause and come up for air because it gets deep. But enough talking about it. If you would, please hit the like button, hit the sub button, and let's roll the footage. So I'm going to start this off with this video where this guy puts some things into perspective. So I'm just going to ask, through the duration of the video, if something sounds too crazy, just keep in mind what this guy said, and maybe it won't sound so crazy.
I'm going to tell you a number of things, but you really only have to remember 2 words. Governments lie. Very important to remember. Governments lie. I mean, not just the American government. Governments in general lie. Now, when I say all governments lie, that may sound like an anarchist statement. The anarchist.
And it's pretty much that simple. Also, I'm pretty sure that wasn't George Carlin, even though it did sound a lot like George Carlin, in case anybody's wondering. But governments lie. We all know that, and all of them. And why wouldn't they? Why would they tell the truth? I'm sure they want to gatekeep anything that's good from the public at this point. And a lot of this flat earth stuff, I've done some thinking. You'd have to think too many people have to be in on it. But why? Why would all the governments have to be in on it? They wouldn't. Only a couple governments would have to be in on it realistically, or the puppet masters of the world that first figured it out. They went, they found it. So Australia, which we're going to get into later, had some explorers that went down there early. People from the US, Germany, I'm sure China, Japan, Russia, a few countries. But once they figured it out, they could have kept it within themselves. How many governments, like, for example, Zimbabwe? You think Zimbabwe's government's making a trip to the ice wall anytime soon? I doubt it. Not to shit on Zimbabwe for any reason. I'm just saying, you know, like Pakistan or just all these countries. Hey, what's down there is nothing. Don't worry about it. You don't need to go. This is the way the world works. I'll start with maps. Oh yeah, this is the way it is. You guys don't have to worry about it, just listen to us. Then further down the road, GPSs, all these things, how flight patterns work. Once you figured it out or set it up the way you want to set it up, you just tell everyone else this is the way it is. And who's ever to know any better?
We own the science and we think that the world, should know it.
Let's say the people that run the world told everybody that all trees, this is a wild example, but just bear with me. All the trees are filled with shit. And no one ever peels bark off of trees because they don't want shit everywhere. So, essentially, if nobody ever peels the bark off the trees, you're just going to walk around thinking all trees are filled with shit because that's what they told you. So essentially, if nobody's going to look and see what's on the other side of Antarctica, you're never going to know any better. And I just want to make one more point before we really get started. Why wouldn't some billionaire just do it? Just do it. Just answer all the questions. Get it over with, and I'll use Elon Musk as a good example. He spent $44 billion to buy Twitter to essentially just shitpost freely. Not saying he's not good at it, but if you have that much money, why not just put an expedition together, get some cameras, go, look, nothing's here but ice, it's a circle, everyone shut the fuck up. But they don't. Do they want to keep us talking about it? Or there's really something over there? I'm telling you right now, you give me $1 billion, I'll set sail tomorrow. Start the GoFundMe right now. What do you think? That's kind of just food for thought, just for the fact that the Vikings, now we know, reached the Americas, the New World, whatever you want to call it, first. Now we know they were in Canada before Christopher Columbus, and I don't know how I didn't know this as a kid, and all of us. I mean, we had a damn football team called the Minnesota Vikings, and there's what they call evidence there that there was Vikings in that area before Christopher Columbus, who were saying, or who were taught, discovered the New World. You know, only new to them, but either way. So if they lied about that, what else did the Vikings do? We don't know. Maybe they're covering something else up. They were curious peoples, and then the people we're supposed to be believing do stuff like this.
Is there something about the Earth that NASA's not telling us? Just so we all know, the translation of NASA in Hebrew is to deceive. The father of NASA is Wernher von Braun, a Nazi Germany scientist. And when he died, on his gravestone, he put Psalms 19:1, which is where it says, "The heavens declare the glory of God, and the firmament sueth his work." The biblical firmament is a dome created by God, separating the waters from the waters and where heaven lies, which is the same story we hear in multiple religions, including ancient Egypt. Here's a NASA document where they explain that the Earth and the planets are mathematically drawn pictures. Then you have weird stuff like the Antarctic Treaty, which doesn't allow people to travel to Antarctica. The United Nations logo, which is literally a flat Earth map. Then we have the Vatican, and the Bible clearly states not to engage in astrology. Instead, they buy the world's most powerful microscope and they name it Lucifer. And now it's a conspiracy that Nazis and Hitler went.
Why would he put palms on his grave? Why would NASA mean to deceive in Hebrew? Why does the logo look like it's a serpent's tongue coming out the side? Why did they name the telescope Lucifer? And why don't they just answer these questions?
Because fuck you. That's why. Because fuck you.
Oh.
Just in case you forgot, east to west circumnavigation has been done millions of times, but north to south circumnavigation has been done 0 times. This flight from Taiwan to Los Angeles, an emergency happened along the way and needed to land the plane as quickly as possible. Why in the world would they land all the way up in Alaska if we live on a supposed globe? Hawaii is just right there.
It was probably
I
on
get
fire.
it now. The flight from Taiwan to Los Angeles, Alaska is along the way. This flight from Argentina to India, an emergency happened along the way, so they decided to stop all the way up in Amsterdam. Like, why didn't they go straight across? Oh wait, they did. The flight from Argentina to India, Amsterdam, is along the way. This flight from Auckland to Peru, an emergency happened along the way, so they stopped all the way up in Los Angeles, passing the equator. Like, why would you pass the equator when you could have just flew straight across? Ah, makes sense. The flight from Auckland to Peru, Los Angeles, is along the way. Is that why in their flight dynamic summary, assume a flat, non-rotating Earth? Guys, I could do this all day long. Flight paths, in and of themselves,
All day.
prove that the Earth is flat and stationary.
Now, this whole flight path thing is something that recently, well, blew my mind a little bit because I really wasn't aware of it. And it really doesn't make a lot of sense. Everything you line up on a globe, a circular globe of the Earth, everything seems a little weird. Then they show the flat Earth map of it. It all lines up perfectly. And I never even thought about the fact, why doesn't anybody fly around the Earth that way? I don't know about millions, like he said, but it's totally been done going that way. Is it somehow they have it structured where if you start going that way, you will just come back? However it works, I don't know. You'd have to hear it from a flight navigator or whatever it may be. I once talked to a guy that was a skydiving instructor, and he said there's no way it's flat. I asked him, like, this guy's up in the air all the time, jumping out of planes. He asked me if I wanted to go. I said, ain't no fucking way. Either way, I'm like, dude, you're up there in sky. What do you think about flat Earth? No way, it's stupid. That's what he said. So, I don't know.
Come here, I need to show you something.
Come here.
Today is March 26, 5:57 p.m. There is a flight from New York to Tashkent. This flight took off from New York and is above Iceland right now, and it's going to Tashkent. Here's New York with a ruler directly to Tashkent, completely level and straight. So New York, Tashkent. Why is this plane above Iceland? Why is this plane above Iceland from New York to Tashkent? And before anybody comes at me saying, oh, put the line on the globe, New York to Tashkent, still below Iceland. It is still flight pattern below Iceland on a globe. Straight line. It is so ridiculously easy to debunk the globe. Oh, that's why. Here's Iceland. There's New York. Oh, that's why. Completely straight flight on a flat Earth map, guys. Boom, boom.
So there it is. More questions that we need answers to. If you know a pilot, you need to ask him, hey, bucko. You don't gotta call him bucko. Excuse me, kind sir. If you're flying from JFK to Tashkent, I'm sure you're familiar with the area, why do you go above Iceland, then back down?
Then he's gonna come back through Chicago on his way to Detroit.
Thousands, or at least a lot of hundreds of miles out of your way. And if he can answer that with some logic and reason, then boom, that guy was an idiot. But if he stutters even once, consider it suspicious and possible evidence. We're living on pancake Earth.
Breakfast!
Alright, now here's a couple videos that are going to show what could be just strange anomalies, coincidence, or is it proof of something more sinister? I don't know.
Alright, y'all ready? Check us out. This is with the Ray-Ban smart glasses. Nikon P1000.
1000.
Pretty cloudy out here. Let's see what we can get.
Looks pretty nice to me.
Yep.
Alright, kid. Right there. Oh, you can't see. As soon as I hit play again, it looks like there's a film over top, like a sheet of glass, like a firmament. Is it the lens? And also, why does it turn dark? But watch real close as I hit play. That was weird looking to me. What the hell is that? So that's the video. That's what he showed. He's trying to say the sun looks like, well, whatever the hell that was. They sell those cameras everywhere, so someone else would have had seen it. So I got to kind of question that. But when he actually turned it on and started zooming, the part I said about how it was like a shine, like a sheet of glass almost over, was it the ozone layer? I don't know. That's the part I thought was weird. Let me know what you think. And also, why did it turn dark? Does anybody know? Is anyone a filmographer, photographer, person that takes a lot of fucking pictures? Let me know.
Here comes!
test, number 1. It imploded.
So that's the whole thing. Does that prove he broke the firmament? I highly doubt it, but why does that look like that? I'd imagine there's some kind of gas that just blows up or whatever, but I don't know. You tell me. I don't think it's Musk breaking the firmament, but I don't know. Maybe it did hit something. And when I saw that, it made me think of, well, the 80s. It was all about the ozone layer. Oh my goodness. We got to get rid of this Aquanet hairspray because everyone wanted to look like this. And you know, the ozone layer. Oh, quit using this spray and that spray, and I forget all the shit. Oh, it's a big deal. The fucking ozone layer. We're putting holes in it. We're all gonna die. We're getting too much sun because the fucking ozone layer. I haven't heard shit about the ozone layer since then. So how the hell's it doing? It can't be any better. I mean, it's all about global warming, but they're not really bringing up because you sons of bitches screwed up the ozone layer, which are all going at hairspray. You don't hear shit about that anymore. So what happened to the ozone layer? And when you think about, hey, there's a firmament, what really is the ozone layer? The oh shit zone layer. Obviously, you can't do a flat earth video without throwing this guy in there. What's his name? Batcat Crazy or something? I forget, but he's all about it. He's all about it. I'm sure you've seen him before, and he's about to give us some dome proof.
Look, there's a shadow on the sky. The firmament is real. We live underneath a giant dome. The Truman Show is real.
Boom.
We're all trapped here on a flat earth, and we're being watched. Now that video we just watched got like 9 million views, and naturally it got me thinking about the ice wall and this map with all these secret continents past it that we could possibly go explore if they're all real or not. And that got me thinking about this last scene in The Truman Show, which I recently just rewatched.
Me too.
Where he sails to the end of his dome, which is where he lived in, and he was being trapped inside. He sails to the end of it and he hits a wall. And what if that was trying to tell us something, that perhaps we have a limit to how far we can go until we get hit by something, perhaps an ice wall, and then there's a little opening a little bit to the side here. There's a little door, like a small little crevice in between everything that he can go in, and there's a whole new world out there.
Alright, we saw the
So
movie.
maybe they were trying to tell us something way back in 1998.
Yeah. So that reflection on the dome, that was a little bit weird. Well, that reflection, I'm not going to say on the dome. That reflection was a little weird. And like the Nikon P100 video, I was like, look at that shining thing. It's kind of like the same thing. So why would that happen twice? I don't know. But also, if you've never watched The Truman Show, watch The Truman Show. And like a lot of these other theories, you think, you know, they put movies right in our face, like Soylent Green, like I've mentioned a million times, Logan's Run, Terminator, Matrix, da-da-da-da. You know the list. You know the list. Is Truman Show one of those movies on the list? When you watch it with that perspective, it might be one of the scariest movies ever made. And the director, not the actual director of the movie, but the director of The Truman Show in the movie, the way he talks about, I created him the perfect environment, blah, 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 almost like some sinister puppet master of the world would think. So if somebody knows there is a dome and there is a wall and we are in a fishbowl, what would make them not want to create the perfect environment, or the perfect environment for chaos for their own twisted entertainment? Because that's what I'd do.
Could there be a possibility that that's the way it looks on the other side of that ice wall in Antarctica? Now, to me, if there's not anything on the other side of that ice wall, why do they guard it so much? Why is it not allowed to just explore and go out there and just see for ourselves what's over there? Why is it guarded so much? Now, like I said before, I'm not saying this is real, but look at all the intricate details. Look at this city. Now, I know there's a lot of maps that do talk about cities underneath the ice caps, and even on the other side of these ice caps. And there's even maps out there which I am going to show one. So could these maps show beyond the ice wall? And also, are there passages where you could get beyond the ice barrier as well?
All those questions have been asked before, but where the hell did that picture come from? What is that? Is that just AI? Like, is that in a different country? Is that not Serbia? Is that where the fuck that was? That was the mind-blowing part to me. What the hell is that? Where are those little houses at? And it's nice and green, so that's not Antarctica, right? But there is an ice shelf-looking thing. Is it Alaska?
Do you believe the Earth is flat?
I know the Earth is flat.
Seriously?
Astrology and flat Earth or true Earth are symbiotic. You cannot have one without the other. If you have a ball and you are spinning, flying through space, chasing this fireball, your constellations would change every now and then. And our constellations have never changed. The stars have never changed. We have the same 12 zodiac signs that we had back in the Dendera stones in Egypt over 5,000 years ago. We're not moving. Every single ancient society knew this. The Mayans, the Aztecs, the Hindus, the Egyptians, every single ancient culture knew that we live in a geocentric universe, not a heliocentric where we are spinning, chasing this ball of fire while all of these other planets are rotating around us, while all of these other stars are rotating around us. If that was the case, Polaris would move, number one, which is the North Star, and it doesn't. Number two, all of the constellations would not rotate solely around Polaris, but they do. Therefore, we are the center of the universe. Believing in the Big Bang Theory is something that is very common today, where people think, we're the product of an accident and that, we don't have a creator. We're just here to consume and live our best life and not live up to our potential. But if you're the center of the universe, that means that you're very special. That means that you have a creator who is very conscious and cares about you. And when you see yourself as being watched by these heavenly bodies above you 24/7, you start to take your life a little bit more seriously.
And this is the type of guy you want to believe, not only because he dresses like that and all these dudes that are into some deep shit for some reason got to dress like that. I don't know if they just live at Burning Man or whatever that's all about. But this guy, he kind of looks like an alien.
Bruh.
But that aside, he's right. Why do the constellations stay the same? Why, when you look through, what is it, the Great Pyramid, all the whatever, is it Orion's Belt, line right up. None of this shit ever moves. None of this shit. We're whipping through space. None of this shit ever moves. Doesn't make a lot of sense. And all these different ancient civilizations throughout time, all we're looking at the same shit. And you gotta wonder why. Why would they lie? Why would they make it all up? That's what I thought. It's so stupid. There's no reason for anybody to lie. But yeah, there is. Because if you don't want people searching continuously, just tell them they're in a circle. You can't keep looking. You can only look so far. Anything else, you're just chasing your fucking tail. You're not going to get to the end. That's it. You're not going to space. So this is it. And if you know that it's flat, you know it's a dome, you know there's a creator, so you're not going to worship the system and the people that run the world because you know there's something bigger than just everyday man or like a Rothschild or whatever the fuck you want to call it. But you would know for sure there's something bigger, something more to live for. And you'd be searching and seeking that. But if they can get rid of that ideology, well, you'll fucking worship whatever the fuck. Celine Dion or whatever you like. You know what I mean? That LG beef, fucking barbecue, LG, that flag, the rainbow flag, Taylor Swift, whatever it is, you're just gonna love it. Because you don't think there's anything beyond. Or at least they can convince you of it a lot easier if you think it's just a fucking ball randomly whipping through space. And that's just how it's going to be. And also, the Big Bang Theory is an insane thought anyways. So there was just nothingness anywhere at all, nothing. Just blank slate, just a blank slate into something just... And all of a sudden, everything. Like, why is there even anything? There's no reason why there's even anything. Something had to make something to be something. How that something even got there is a question within itself. Something had to make something out of something somewhere along the line. How anything started anywhere is an insane thought within itself. And I also don't even smoke weed. Little side note there. But why is there? Nothing is nothingness. Something just banged out of nothing. Banged out of nothing. Wah, wah. The point of saying that insanity is I could see why the deception would be put in play. to say you'll do nothing but chasing your fucking tail if you're looking for anything greater than what we've provided you right in front of you. Welcome to the Truman Show, boys and girls. Okay, that aside, I said I'd mention Australia later in the video, and if you never heard of a man by the name of George Hubert Wilkins, prepare to have your mind blown. I never did, and I feel like a lot of people never did, which is kind of strange considering all this man has achieved in his life. Check this out.
So why are they teaching the globe model? Well, you see, the globe is a container, and it's a container of all the known land. And you see, have you heard of such a thing as no-fly zones? For instance, you can't fly in certain areas near the Arctic Circle or the Antarctic Circle. The reasons being is because there are lands there that we're not supposed to know about. I'll give you one example. Sir Captain George Hubert Wilkins, a contemporary of Admiral Byrd, he flew beyond Antarctica 5,000 miles, according to his records, and he said that he found there many, many lands and peoples 5,000 miles beyond Antarctica. That's just one example of an explorer who has found lands that are not at all on any of our maps. They are excluded from all of our maps. That's why international pilots have such a thing as no-fly zone, because they don't want those lands to be discovered.
Is that not wild? I feel like he's kind of like Nikola Tesla. Like, you knew too much. We don't want to talk about you. And I didn't bring up Admiral Byrd in this video because I feel like we've discussed what he's done enough. Everybody knows the Admiral Byrd stuff, but this George Hubert Wilkins, who was knighted as a Sir, apparently, while he was Australian, made his first trip to Australia, I believe, by boat in 1920, and then in 28 and 29, started trying to fly over that bitch. And he claimed, it says somewhere, I couldn't find the writing, but he claimed to fly over 5,000 or 6,000 miles in sea, well, like that guy just said, lands and peoples. Now, I read that the plane he was flying couldn't have went further than 1,300 miles, so I don't know. Apparently the 5,000 thing was in his diary, but the lands and the peoples, apparently there's a lot of lands in Australia literally named after him, and he was a world-renowned explorer and barely spoke about at all, which I find intriguing because it's almost like, well, he found what we need him to find, now shut the fuck up. And on another note, apparently he tried to I believe submarine under what they're calling the North Pole. So whatever his motivation was for that, I don't know. Okay, after all that madness, here's a reasonable conversation between two fellas. That guy's name's Bradley or Bradley. I'm sure you've seen him, or Bradley. I'm sure you've seen him somewhere. The other guy, the guy with the phone in his hand, I don't know who he is. He's the naysayer for sure. But it seems like a reasonable discussion. Reasonable way to put things in perspective.
I do not believe the earth is flat, just for the record. I'm open-minded, then makes you wonder, because like the way they have their proof, it's like, to me it's like, dude, if that's real what they're saying, that is questionable shit. And again, have you ever been up into space? Have you ever seen the curvature of the earth? The answer is no. And then when you look at Antarctica and you look at the map of the United Nations, it's all flat earth symbolism. And then when you think of outer space, but when you really look at flight patterns, that's when that shit is unbelievable. Because if you said, okay, I'm gonna fly from here to here, and you would think you'd just take off and you'd fly there, right? But you fly here, and then here, and then here. And people are like, wait a minute, why would you fly here to here to here to here? Because of the wind. Why?
No
again,
wind.
There's always these excuses, but then if you look at the fucking flat Earth map, the way it says that it's real, the fucking line's always direct.
He needs to quit swearing. This is
Now,
a
again,
family
is that
show.
True? I don't know. I'm not a fucking. I'm not a mapologist. All I can say is, if what they're saying is true, it makes you think, man. Like, God,
It makes you
I
think,
believe
man.
in a lot of conspiracies. This one, I can't get by in because I'll tell you, well, one thing.
Take a fork full of that.
GPS. If it was flat, GPS wouldn't work.
Why?
It won't work.
Why wouldn't it work?
Because you got the satellites spinning around.
Oh.
Satellites can orbit like this, bro.
Yeah,
Why
you
are
got
they
to
spinning
spin
around?
around something. Gravity pulls you.
And this is the type of guy that's never looked into the shit and just wants to stick with what he's been told. So you can't even really talk to somebody like this, you know?
You
That's how they stay in orbit. That's how gravity pulls you down, right?
You believe in the Bible?
The theory of gravity.
Never have. But for people that believe in the Bible says there's a firmament.
There's a what?
Dome. The Bible supports flat Earth.
Wait, where?
What?
Where?
Jesus Christ, the OG flat earther.
In the Bible?
Yeah.
Dude, just Google it, man. Do some research.
I'll Google it.
The Bible says there's a firmament. Supposedly, when you try to go to space, you will hit a fucking ceiling.
A ceiling.
When you line up. And you look at some videos where they're trying to debunk the globe model, you see fucking rockets going shh, and then it hits something.
All right, Red Bull did that space jump. Let me see what that looks like.
It could all be stupid as fuck, which I feel like it is because my whole life I never even anticipated. When I first heard people talking about flat Earth, I'd be like, what kind of a fucking idiot would believe that the Earth is flat? Which
Right.
I do not believe the Earth is flat, just for the record. Well, I'm open-minded, so I'm like, okay, well, let me again, dude. How do you know that that's fucking an actual footage? I'm serious, dude. They had there's a video where these two guys.
Yeah, it could be bullshit.
Listen, there's a video where these
the
two
Red
guys,
Bull thing.
are talking to a globe guy, and they're making the flat earthers feel really stupid. And so the flat earther said, "Hey, tell us what this is." And it had one of those satellite, arms and the thing. And they said, well, obviously that is a view from the satellite. And it did look just like it. Like, goddamn, that's clearly a view from the satellite. And then they fucking zoomed back and showed you that that's the fucking sky. And it was looking up. And it's not the fucking Earth at all.
I showed that video on his channel before. He's talking about how easy it is just to manipulate to make something look like space if you're not following that super clear like that. One of the main flat earther dudes, I can't think of his name. He was just showing like a camera angle and he made it look like you're looking into space. And they're like, yeah, see, that's obviously whatever, a satellite. Then he just flipped it. No, I'm just fucking showing you the sky or whatever it was. But it was very convincing. So, that could be everything.
And they said, now imagine the budget NASA has. So if they want to fucking fool you, they can fool you. Now, if you really believe we went to the fucking, we went to the moon. Hey, you really believe that we went to the moon on those hunky piles of fucking shit? Thin, stupid garbage.
I know we did. I'll tell you how I know.
You don't know we did.
No, because
you believe we did.
They put him.
You don't know a damn thing. This guy's an asshole.
It's basically a mirror on the moon.
He just looks like an asshole, frat boy.
You can take a laser. If you have the right equipment, you can reproduce this experiment. You can shoot a laser at that mirror on the moon and it'll bounce back. It's an actual experiment.
A space laser?
Actually do.
Have you done it?
I haven't done it,
So you
but there's
just believe
YouTubers that have done it.
You can't say it's true unless you've done it.
There's YouTubers that have done it.
That means
Okay,
you just
I got
believe
one
it.
though. I got
That
one
means
for you.
just you believe it. That's all.
I'll tell you one.
And by the way, do not edit this to make it look like I'm a flat earther. I am not. If someone said, Brad, you're gonna be right. You're gonna live rich if you're right and wrong if you're wrong. And someone said, but you got to pick. Are we living on a flat earth or not? My answer would be no. However, when you start looking into some of their claims, if the shit's true, because again, I'm not an astrologer, I'm not a freaking geography fucking expert, but when they're talking about the way the sun rotates and the way the moon rotates and what they claim and the pilots and the curvature and like if that's what they're saying is true, it's like, well then how do you explain it?
Yeah.
How do you explain that? I've never heard anybody's explanation. Now you might say,
I'll find a good one.
Well, there's a mirror on the moon. You ain't never been to the fucking moon, bro.
I will find you a video.
You know it's a goddamn
mirror.
mirror.
We got a challenge here.
Is
there a mirror on the moon?
Hey,
I'm gonna find a video.
You know the moon's made of cheese? Have you heard that? Have you heard it?
Yeah, I've heard it.
How do you know if it is or not?
No cows up there.
You don't know if the moon's made of cheese or not. They also say there's aliens. Are there aliens? Are there aliens?
Think so.
Well, dude, what do you mean you think so? The fucking government has confirmed it lately.
Exactly. You ain't never been to the fucking moon, bro. I feel like that pretty much sums up how I feel about it too. Like, boy, it's compelling. Like, no, but like,
let me give it a try.
A conspiracy theory is only a theory until it's proven to be true. But you only see what the new spoon feeds you and only hang with sheep like you. Now, I'm not gonna say that every theory is a fact, or my opinion should only matter to me. But don't attack somebody else because you lack the mind power to wrap it around the possibility. Let's go. You see, the world that we live in is truly fucked up, so I don't push it past anyone. I look without a biased view. I'll leave the judgment up to you because it seems like you try to troll for fun.
and there you have it. I think that's a fair enough assessment, and that will be the end of me talking about Flat Earth. It's in the Book of Aliens now with me. Show me something or shut up about it. Do I think it's true? I don't know. Just like everything else, I don't know. I think it's intriguing. I think it's compelling, but I don't know. Until you show me something, I don't know. It's in the books. That's why I did the whole video. It's a good place to wrap this puppy up. So thank you for watching. Please hit that sub button. Go back and watch some of these order videos. Run the numbers up on these videos for me, please. Go ahead and hit that like button if you don't mind. And if you didn't like the video, just go ahead and keep it moving, because I don't want no beef with you. That is all, folks.